Hey, welcome to my journey and to another weigh-in video. Let me just tell you this first before we start. It's cloudy, breezy, feels nice. There are a bunch of wisteria trees over here on this corner. If y'all could, I wish I had smell-o-vision. If y'all could smell those wisteria trees, oh my gosh, it is just lovely, because that breeze is just, as soon as I came out here, I'm like, oh, I need wisteria wax melts now. That should be my summer fragrance. Gosh, it is awesome. So anyway, we are here for a weigh-in. Was not sure how this week was going to go, because we'll talk about it in a minute, but happily I got on the scales and I was down 5.4, so that made up for the 2 small gains I had the past 2 weeks. So, but that's how I go: gain, lose, 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 gain, gain, lose, lose, and I just lose what I gained, so I break even. It gets old. Well, the way the week went, I'll tell you this, hold on. I'm coming off a drug, and oh Lord, honey, you scared me. He come around here to his car. And you have to wean off of it. It takes about 6 weeks. 4 weeks at this specific dose, I can't get it out, and then like maybe 2 weeks after that of a lower dose. Well, it is kicking my butt. I'm gonna tell you, the symptoms I have had from coming off this drug has been just horrible. I have whined to David, I have whined to John. I have just whined because I'm miserable. The biggest thing is this dizziness. If I move my head, it's like behind my eyes, and it makes my eyes kind of do funny, and it's very, 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 very annoying. It's not like dizzy in my head, it's dizzy behind my eyes, and it's aggravating. And that's been going on for a week. Another one is insomnia. And y'all know I hit the bed, I'm asleep before my head hits the pillow. A lot of, oh, I feel rain coming through there. We're getting some mist. A lot of times, I'll go to bed as soon as David goes to work. I'm in bed by 8:30, sound asleep. Well, here, past few nights, I have tossed and turned for 2 hours. Cannot go to sleep. Cannot go to sleep whatsoever. And that is annoying. I'm not that person. I watch videos on YouTube on my phone, trying to get my eyes sleepy, you know. It ain't working. It just ain't working. I'm having nightmares. I mean, terrible nightmares. Nightmares that wake me up with my heart literally pounding out of my chest. Okay. Now, why is he taking my car? He didn't ask me to drive my car. Listen, we're going to talk about that. He better put some gas in it, that's all I know, because we skirting. That's why he told me to park. He's supposed to be going to get some lime. And I said, you going to take your truck? He said, no, just go ahead and park. I bet he's going to put that in my car. And then, I don't know. If he thinks I'm going to help him unload 40-pound bags into the back of his truck when he could have just took his truck, because his truck's got to go down there Saturday anyway. Well, I don't know. Y'all ever can't figure y'all husband out? I love my husband to death. I'll claw your eyes out, you mess with him. Take that to the bank. But sometimes, he is just not understandable. I'm sure he thinks the same thing about me. I think the same thing about me. So, those are some of the side effects I'm having. Could go on, I don't know. I told David, I looked up something that said 7 days. Well, is that 7 days while I'm weaning and then it'll stop? Or is it 7 days after I'm completely off of it? So is it going to do it this whole time 6 weeks and then stop. I don't know. I'll just see when it stops, it'll stop. At first, when I got up this morning, I was like, nope. But one of the side effects of that medicine is weight gain. And I've been on it for years. And I have said before, I think that's a lot of what I have fought. I'm not using it as an excuse. It's just a scientific, biological medicine fact. My doctor tells me I'll come off of it. I'm like, I want to come off of it. I got to quit gaining weight. And she tells me, okay. And then I'll tell her, my legs are killing me. I got to go back on it. She goes, okay, you know, you're either going to have legs that hurt or legs that feel better and gain weight. And every time I'll say, I'll take the weight, because I could not live with my legs. But I feel like since I've had my knees done, that has done a lot to improve the pain in my legs. So I think I can come off of it. So far, so good, cutting the dosage down by half. We've cut it down, because I was on a high dosage. We cut it down by half, and my legs are doing good. So I hope that's a good sign. And I don't know if cutting that, that's what we were going to talk about. I don't know, I don't want to jinx it in case, oh, it's a robin. I'm waiting for a cardinal. Give it time, there'll be one out here. I don't know if cutting it in half was enough to stop the weight gain, to help me lose some while I lost so much this week. I don't know if it's going to wait till it's completely out of my system, or if it's going to just get better as it goes. I don't know how that's going to work. That's another thing we're just going to have to see. I might come up next week and have a gain, because I'm still taking it. So it still causes weight gain, period, because I'm taking it. But did dropping it down by half help something? Well, here's the other thing. I have felt like a buttload of dookie this week, and I have not tried to lose weight a bit more than the man on the moon. I have not considered weight loss the first iota. I have not cared if I got my protein in. I have not cared if I ate carbs, complex or simple. Last night was the best dinner I have had all week. And it was Alfredo noodles, the pappardelle noodles, because I love those noodles. You get them at Trader Joe's. I love them in Alfredo. That's my main way to eat them, is in Alfredo. And now, granted, they weren't big bowls because I can't eat big at one time. But I had that and my piece of chicken, and I ate like 3 pieces of chicken, and I didn't want it. I just wanted my noodles. And I didn't want the broccoli in my noodles, so I picked it out. And then I set just a little aside to have as a snack in case I was up, awake, and I was hungry. And so I did go over there and get that a few hours later. Well, a couple hours later, I guess. That was the best thing I ate this week. Simple carb all the way. The rest of the time, I did eat complex carbs. I ate what I wanted, when I wanted it, but my portions were extremely small. Some days I didn't even eat but maybe one regular meal, if you could call it that. Yeah, one day I ate my salmon patties and got one of them bones. I was done. I ate beets that day. The next day, guess what? I couldn't stomach the salmon. I ate beets. That was my lunch, beets. I get hungry, nothing sounded good, I'd eat a couple cheddar cheese sticks. That was it. That's all I'd eat. And then I might not eat another thing till supper. And then supper was just the least little bit of whatever I felt like eating. And some nights I didn't even eat what I made. You may or may not see a meals video this week. I don't know. But just because I cooked it and showed it does not mean I ate it. I would even fix my plate and go over and sit down. Couldn't even eat it. It's just not what I wanted. So my appetite has been very strange. So I don't know if it's the fact that I've hardly eaten anything this week, so I kept my calories down. Did that make me lose weight? because even when I was watching my protein and tracking, see, I didn't track neither, because I tell you I wasn't trying to lose weight. Even when I am trying to lose weight, I've quit tracking. I'm just terrible at it. I think I'm just going to have to accept the fact I'm itching about myself, that I just don't track and just do the best I can. Now, when I was tracking, my calories were down. I said I was going to try to not go over 1,400. I never made it to 1,400. Some days was 1,000. Some days I didn't even make it to 1,200. I would gain weight. I would lose weight. So it didn't really matter. But this week, that's what I'm saying. Was it the medicine? Or was it the fact that they say, and I know y'all heard it back in the day, why French women don't gain weight? Because they don't care. They enjoy their meals and they don't overdo it. They enjoy their cheeses, their wines, their croissants, their, typical French foods that we think about. And they've had books out about it, how the French women eat. And there was one time back after I had Holly, the doctor that delivered her, oh my gosh, I loved him. I absolutely adored that man. When he left, I was so upset. Oh my gosh, I was so upset. He went to do his own business, his own practice for men's health. He still has it too. And gosh, that was probably 28 years ago, because I think I had him a couple years after I had Holly, and then he left. A few years, maybe 5, I don't know. She's 30, maybe 25 years. And anyway, I had gained weight with her, obviously, both my children. The weight I gained stayed with me. Well, I went for checkups, because he kept up with me. And I went one time and I had lost weight. And he said, what did you do? I said, I didn't care what I ate. I didn't worry about it. I'd just been eating what I wanted, and then, it was basically a everything in moderation diet. It really was. He said, well, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Did it stick? No, nothing sticks. I'm a bad dieter. It's because it's supposed to be a lifestyle. Well, I gotta pick a lifestyle. I gotta pick a lane. But this week, whatever happened worked. Whether it was a combination of not eating much, eating what I wanted in moderation, having extra fiber to my diet, because I have added fiber. I told you I was going to, and I have. Not worrying about it, not stressing about it. You know what I mean? Because stress will make you gain weight. Now, I ain't stressed because, I've told you before many times, when I don't feel good, I don't care what I eat. It wasn't one of those. I didn't go and buy little Debbie's, because I would be that way before. I would go up here to the corner store and get me some little Debbie's. If I didn't have a whole box of them, I'd just go up there and get me a handful, because they got a little end cap where you can get different flavors, If I have to go in there and get ice or anything, I just stand there and look at them, because they're right there at the register. I just stand there and look at them. I'm like, okay, I want you, I want you, I want you, and I don't get them. So this time it was like, I don't feel good, I don't care, but I didn't do anything, no contraband. I didn't do anything off the rails. Did I have a Coke? I had one Coke. I've been having about one Coke a week. I think I had my last Coke last week. We was sitting here and then I just felt I needed a Coke. And then I did have one this week. So one Coke a week ain't gonna hurt nothing. That ain't gonna derail me. I've been watching this guy, Liam. And he's on, I think that's his Facebook handle or whatever, where he does reels. I know it's not TikTok, because I'm always seeing him on Facebook, and I'm sure it's not Instagram, because I don't hardly ever go on Instagram. Well, just send Joan reels. That's the only reason I go on Instagram. But he's a nutritionist, and he is so common sense, and he'll have these other people on there that tell you all these extreme things, and one will tell you this. He's got some on there that are followed big time that he shows clips of. One clip he's telling you one thing, and the next clip he's completely contradicting it, and that's more than one. This man is going to school for nutrition right now, and he's very thin. He was blessed with good metabolism, he said, but he said, this is good, but eat what you can eat what you can afford, eat what you like. Just try to watch the sugars, try to watch this, try to watch that. He said, and I still have, he slid it over. He had, and I ain't going this far. He had a little thing that was like little single servings. He said he buys single servings so he's not tempted. He said, I like Cheez-Its and I like candy bars and I like this. He said, so if I need a treat, I get it. But other times he tells you what to do. So like if you need some more fiber, he said, if you got a cereal that you like, he has all brand, Kellogg's all brand. He said, add some of this to the cereal that you like to add more fiber in. He gives you those kind of tips. And he's just funny. He cusses, which don't bother me. He don't cuss a lot, but he'll throw one out there every now and then to make a point, because you know, sometimes. Anyway, listen, let me tell you this. That's all we're gonna talk about the diet, I think. I love country people. I love living in the South. I'm telling you what, I wouldn't live nowhere else in this country. I love living in the South. I love living in North Carolina. You can get more Southern physically than North Carolina, but I'm fine where I am. And when you go out in public and you run across, especially these old Southern men, they're a hoot. So there was this one, he was at the eggs, and I ran around there to the eggs today, down here at Food Line. And I come around the corner, he says, I know you. And I said, well, I know you. I said, we probably shopped at the same place, and I just seen him. It wasn't this week, because I ain't been nowhere. It must have been last week. We were at the same store or something, because I specifically remember him. And so we just stood there and talked, and we was talking about the price of eggs, you know, and stuff like that. And he was getting his eggs, and he said, am I trouble for you? Because he was in the egg door. I said, no. I said, you get your eggs and I'll get my eggs, you know. And I thought to myself, it's like I've told y'all before, when you're a big woman, and I used to be almost 400 pounds, and I started getting tattoos, and I was still big, and then I stayed big even though I was losing weight, and I'm getting more tattoos and more tattoos. When you're a big woman with a commanding presence, and you're covered in tattoos. Now in the wintertime, they don't know. They don't see me. But in the summertime, I wear this stuff out in public. I don't care. Let the bat flaps fly. Mama don't care. Listen, the one thing that I don't like is my leg meat is sagging. Where I've lost weight in my legs, it's sagging. I don't like that at all. I need to get out and walk. I told RJ we got to get back to walking. He said, well, we ain't walked yet. I said, we got to get back to when we was walking. We really do. And that's one thing I don't like, but it don't prohibit me from wearing shorts. No, it don't. The only thing that I care about is I have a shirt that covers my butt. I do not like a shirt that hikes up over my butt. I just don't. I just don't like it. I see other people that are big and fine. I mean, it's fine by them. I don't care. But I don't like it for me. I like it to come down below my hips and cover up the bootay. Well, when you look like I look, I'm very memorable. So if you've seen me, you're going to be like, I've seen her before. You better watch how you act in public, because if you show your ASS somewhere, unwarranted, I should say. Sometimes it's warranted. It was warranted when RJ was in middle school. Woo, boy, the stories I could tell you. Talk about bat crap crazy. You don't mess with my children, because I will break you off a little something. And I have showed it. We come out one day because the teacher had made a laughing joke of RJ in class. And I went ballistic. And he called the teacher in there with us, and he tried to deny it. I'm like, oh my gosh. I went ballistic. Here's the thing. This is the scary thing. We were walking out to the car, and I told RJ, I said, was I too bad? This is what that child told me in the 6th grade. I've seen worse. What had he seen that I did not know? I used to have a very volatile anger issue. I really did. I'll admit it. I'll be the first one to admit it. I've had lots of mental health issues. Trying to get medicine straight. I've gone from, withdrawn to outrageous to anger to snarky to whatever. I've gone through the whole gamut of, let's get this medicine straight. Let's do this. Let's fix this. So, and I'm the first one to admit it. Let me just tell you this. Just because you go on one medicine, if it ain't working, don't think you're going to have to stay on it the whole rest of your life. They can experiment with you until you find the right cocktail, I should say, because I'm on a cocktail. And that is one of the drugs I am also weaning off. I have already weaned off of one and weaned on to another one. So if I had to think about it, I went to my psychiatrist first and we got that fixed. Then I went to my regular doctor. I went to him Saturday, and then that following Thursday I went to her, and that's when I told her I wanted to get off this one. If I'd have been thinking about it, if I knew these side effects were going to be so bad, I wouldn't have done them all 3 at the same time, because it was just too much. It was too much. But anyway, I was saying, you got to watch how you act when you look like I look, because somebody's going to say, oh, I remember seeing you. You're that big old one. Old granny. That's another thing. Add to it. I'm not even a young girl. I'm not even like a big young girl. You think young people have tattoos. Well, guess what? Old people have them too. And when you get them young, guess what? You still gonna have them when you're old. Yeah, that's right. I didn't start getting mine until I was 53. That's right. I woke up one morning and I said, girl, you grown. I wanted a tattoo, but you just didn't do that. You see what I'm saying? But one day I woke up and I said, I want a tattoo. I've been wanting a tattoo. I'm grown. I'm going to get a tattoo. And that started my addiction. I haven't had one now this will be year 3. I haven't had one. And I am jonesing so bad. Look, I got an empty spot. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. A whole empty spot, and I don't care that they soak into my skin. I have that skin. My tattoos go on as crisp and clean and clear as you'd ever want to see a beautiful tattoo. And the longer they're on there, and it's only been, this will be 10 years, so they shouldn't be aging that quickly. It's like the ink just soaks into my skin. And it makes them big, and some of them you can't hardly read. But you know what? I keep getting them because I enjoy the process. I know some people are like, you can't enjoy getting a tattoo. Oh, yes you can. I have sat there, this ain't no lie. I have sat there getting a tattoo before, almost falling asleep. Yes, it is cathartic in a way. You go somewhere, and it's not about, oh, I'm a pain junkie. No, and it really don't hurt as bad as you think. The worst part was when I got this one and it come across my collarbone, and the bone, that was the worst part. So other than that, my tattoos don't hurt. They're just, I don't know how to explain it, but I need one. But see, now it's harder to tattoo old skin too when it's sagging. But I can't get any on the inside of my arm because I got stretch marks and flabby skin. I can't get none on my legs because I'm scared to. I could get some on the bottom, but I got where I had that wound for so long, it's wrinkly. I wish I had a tattoo to cover it up so it wouldn't be so icky looking. It's dark and it's wrinkly, because that's the scar that it left behind on my leg. But I'm afraid, I got one over here too, where I had both wounds at the same time. This one over here was huge. But I'm afraid that even if my legs wasn't saggy, I don't want to cause any other wound. I've like once bitten, twice shy on that deal. I couldn't get it before because I always had lymphedema in my legs. So there's no way I could get a tattoo and then bust it open and get a wound and get infected. No. And so now I'm just like, I'm scared to, because I got a whole canvas down here. 2 whole legs. 2 whole canvases. But I'm scared to. So it's upper body it is. That's it. I don't have anywhere else over here. Well, I got a few spots, like right there. You can put something right there if you wanted to. But anyway, how to get off on tattoos? Oh, talking about when you have a look, people will remember you. There's that old fat lady covered in tattoos. Oh, there's another bird. I ain't seen no cardinal yet. I'm gonna tell you what, this big old tree out here, listen, it is putting on some leaves, and I am just seeing come fall how many leaves poor old David's got to blow. He's been down there at Holly's, because we got Holly's house, we got the house next door that the sister lived in. That house is covered up in leaves because there's trees all around it. He wants to get them all cut down, but that's not cheap, and we got other things that we got to do. We don't have an endless supply of money. I am sad to report that, but we don't. We have spent money on certain things over the years that have depleted the stores, shall I say, and now we have come down to the bottom of the barrel. Any of y'all live on the bottom of the barrel? I tell you what, it's rough. It's rough, but things in life takes money, you know? That's called an only woman. Listen, one of my favorite treats when I worked, I had, and I still got the cut that I got. Oh my gosh, Holly was in 1st grade, and I worked for a mortgage broker. So he brokered out loans to different companies. It wasn't a mortgage company, it was a mortgage broker. So he brokered them out. I was the loan processor. Well, one of the companies we worked for, she would always come and take us out to eat because they got the most of our business and they wanted to keep it that way. She'd come and take us out to eat. She'd bring us all kind of goodies. Well, it was before they were even popular, it was a stainless steel coffee cup mug with their logo on it. It's plastic on the outside and the stainless steel insert in it and the lid, and it would keep your coffee hot. And I still have that. I used it up until we started getting new different ones, you know, and I won't get rid of it. I don't know why, I just have so many memories attached to that cup. But the one place that I worked with, the last place that I worked, was also with my best friend. He owned the mortgage. He was the mortgage broker. He was on that company. And then he went up here and worked for another company that owned half the town. And so I come up there and process for him. And one of my favorite things was, because me and him was coffee drinkers, I know that's hard to believe, is if I had coffee left the day before when I come in the morning, I would always leave it sitting in my cup on my desk. And so that next morning I would come in and I would drink that cold coffee. That was my favorite treat, was when I had coffee left. Now I don't like cold coffee whatsoever, unless it's iced. Ooh, listen, them iced chai lattes, oh my gosh. I ain't had one this week, and I have chilled off my, I know you ain't gonna wave at me. I got some neighbors, honey. I am not in a friendly neighborhood. The little girl across the street that ain't spoke to us in years, she has finally started waving. So sweet, just a good old wave. I waved at her last week when we was out here. Every time she sees me, she just waves and smiles. I don't know what happened. I don't know what changed it. I don't know. She had a child. The child is around Jacob's age. I don't know if maybe that changed her outlook or something. I don't know, but I don't know their name. I don't know anything. I know his name. Very rarely see him. Don't know theirs. Don't know theirs. Know hers. Ain't talking to her. Know her. Ain't talking to her. Don't know these, don't know them, know the ones behind us, but we're separated by a fence that's broken, but I know them. So I don't live in a neighborhood where you can go borrow you a cup of sugar. How you doing? I'm gonna take my neighbors some garden produce because I don't live in that kind of neighborhood. It's a shame, but I don't have no neighbors come up here and sit on the porch with me. But I'm gonna tell you what, I don't want them. This is terrible. I don't want nobody just showing up on my doorstep. No, I need you to call ahead and make an appointment. I'm not one of those people that like a cold call. I cannot stand, and I know they're out there trying to make a living, I cannot stand door-to-door salesmen. And even if you put a no soliciting sign, they don't care. They solicit you anyway. And one of my biggest fears is somebody knocking on my door after dark. I lay in bed at night thinking, is somebody gonna come beating on my door? Listen, I watch Criminal Minds. I listen to the criminal things on the news. I know what can happen. Don't you ever open your door to nobody. If it's in the daytime, David's here, whatever, I'll open it. I feel okay about that. After dark, you're not getting my door open. You come in my door after dark, you're gonna be facing something. You see what I'm telling you? You don't open your door to nobody at night. Quit trusting people. Don't trust people. It's a ruse to get in your house. You've heard too many times you open that door and they bust in on you. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. I even heard if you got a iPhone, Apple, whatever, they doing scams on Apple. And I seen this woman on the news. I can find nothing else to watch. And she says she thought she wasn't very old. So, they scam on us seniors because they think we don't have brains. That's what they think. Senior citizens don't have brains. Well, yes, we do. And she was younger. She says, I thought this would never happen to me. She said, I thought I was smarter than this, but they got her. She said they stole money. They stole her pictures off her phone. They stole her contacts off her phone. They messed her up in some kind of text that she got from Apple. And has he got him another car? Hold on, let me back up. He's got him another car. That man changes cars like I change underwear. I kid you not. Oh my gosh. Okay, he's still got his truck, the one that he's had, but this is a whole different car. I'm flabbergasted. But he's single. Listen, I'm gonna give you some tea. My cousin lives right there. If you want to know something in this neighborhood, you go ask her, because she's up on it. So, I don't know how she finds out her information, but she does. Well, the house in front of us, they're back here. So my cousin's house sits here. And the houses in front of me face me, but their backyards are catty-cornered to hers. And it like goes down, kind of like down the holler. Okay, David's backing in. I'm going to find out what he put in my car. And she said, see, when they first moved in, it was a man and his wife. And the first year they were here, they came over and gave us a little Christmas gift, like some little treats, just to say, hey, we're new to the neighborhood. We thought it was very, very nice. She wasn't over there long. And she had her and her friend and truck out there. She was moving her stuff out. But my cousin said they used to go on the back porch and scream and holler. Well, you can't hear it from around the porch up and around this way. I never heard them argue. Not the first raised voice at all. But my cousin said, oh, they used to have some knockdown drag-outs out there on the back porch. And he's just as quiet-natured as you'd think. Anytime I've ever talked to him, he's just, So I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but there's some tea. Listen, since Uncle Eddie moved out, we ain't got nobody to talk about. Because I don't know them people, they're probably decent people. Uncle Eddie, I call him Uncle Eddie because he was just as, Uncle Eddie on Christmas Vacation, you know how he was. That's how he was. He was really worse, but that was my nickname for him. Listen, don't call me a bad person. The things he did, And, that woman of his, golly, she was I guess she was Mrs. Uncle Eddie. I don't know. She was just as bad. But it's a wonder he didn't beat her to death. He was that crazy. He would go out there and do wild things in the yard and scream. You could hear him screaming and all this and that. I told you before, I was out here sitting in the chair when we just had the stoop and I was repotting some plants. And I heard him up there. And I could hear things being thrown in the house. And him hollering and screaming and carrying on. And I thought for certain she was in danger. So I hollered over there. I said, if you don't stop, I'm going to call the police. He come out there talking about, what? Well, he went back in there and told the woman. And instead of thinking, okay, I'm worried about her as woman to woman, she come out in that driveway cussing me for everything I was worth, telling me to stay out her blankety blank business and blah, 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 blah. And I told her in no uncertain terms, I hollered back over to her. I said, okay, he can put you out in the middle of the road and I won't bother you at all. Listen, that made me done right there. She didn't want no help. She wasn't going to get it. I didn't care what he did. I didn't. Call me mean. Call me callous. I don't care. You going to act like that? I'm not going to expend my energy and efforts on you if you don't want the help. Nope. I guess I shouldn't have pushed my nose in, but I thought she was in danger. I seriously did. So, instead of just calling the police, I warned them. So there you go. Don't try to help nobody. Some people just don't want help. Anyway. I do love country people. Listen, I like everything about the South. I do. I love the South. I love the friendliness of people. I just love good old Southern people. So anyway, that is my weigh in this week. I got to go give some blood from the doctor. I go down here, we got a LabCorp, and that's all they do is draw blood. And they are really good with mine because I'm a very hard stick. I got 8 times one time with the guy when she was at another office. She had this guy, Jarvis, and he was the best phlebotomist. He was just the best, and he could always get my blood, but I'm a hard stick. Some days I just wouldn't bleed, and so like one time he got up to 8. So every time they try to get blood, they give you a Band-Aid. Well, he had the hot pink stuff, and he had it wrapped around my hands. He finally got blood from right here. I've told y'all this story. I recycle my stories because if I ain't got a life, I can't think of nothing. Some of it you knew, so it's new to you, it's old to some. And he finally got it, and I got up to leave. He starts doing this, snatching stuff off me. He said, you're not walking in here and let them think I did all that, or let them know I did all that. Listen, me and him would be laughing and cackling so hard. They would come from other parts of the building to look in and see what we was talking about. We was very disruptive. But he was in the military, and he was military in the medical field, and he would tell me some stories that would curl your toes about things that would come into the emergency room, and he would tell me different stories. Oh my gosh, I miss him. I seen him probably 2 years ago. I'm trying to think where we was at, and his wife walked by, and I didn't know her from sight. And oh gosh, he wasn't big. He's very, very tall, but he wasn't fat. He was just a big guy, not even big. Just I don't know. He's just, to me, I thought he was regular, but he had really lost down some weight. I think he had maybe been sick. And I walked by, and I didn't catch him right off, and he said something to me. I turned around and I said, Jarvis. I gave him a big old hug, and I told his wife, I said, oh, I miss Jarvis so much. I miss him so much. She knowed I wasn't trying to do nothing to him. She had to know everybody loved him. But that's the last time I have seen him. But when I had my second knee done, it took them 11 sticks to get the IV in. And the one that they did get in, they started having trouble while I was under, and they ended up having to put it in my neck because I got out in there. And I was like, what's this? And she said, well, your other one started failing, and so they had to go there. I'm glad I was asleep, because if they tried to put it in there while I was awake, I don't think I would have handled that very well. But yeah, they put it everywhere and it would keep coming out. It wouldn't stay. They couldn't find the vein. So that is why when I had to get blood, listen, when I went over to her when she was in her other office before she moved now, I went over there and they stuck me 6 or 7 times. And they had to call, what did they call her? Dracula? They did it. They called her Dracula. She said, we're going to have to call Dracula. I said, what? We was laughing. She said, we're going to have to call Dracula. She said, when we can't get it, we call Dracula. She used to do it in the ER. And so she come over there and she put one of them hot hands on it, warmed it up, did whatever. Bing! She got the blood. So I'm a very hard stick. My mama's a very hard stick. So that is why, unless it is a surgery situation or somewhere that I can't get my people to where I am, I go down to LabCorp because they're very good at what they do. I was worried because I had to give 10 vials of blood before I had my gastric bypass. And I told her, I said, honey, I don't know how we're going to do this. I said, I don't know how we're going to do this. And so the one girl tried it and she couldn't get nothing. So she called in this other girl. And I can't remember where she found it, but she got it. And she got that 10 vials of blood. So maybe this time we won't have that many because I told her, I said, check everything you can check. She said last time she had checked some things, so she won't have to check them this time. But anyway, I go there today. So I hope I do good there. So anyway, I ain't gonna talk no more. I just ain't gonna talk no more. Was I gonna tell you something else about the grocery store? No, that was all. Okay, well, that's all I know. Oh no, I do know this. I didn't go shopping this week. I did not go thrift shopping. I didn't feel good Tuesday, and I was so dizzy. I don't think I could have driven, and I just did not. I didn't want to get up out of bed. I did not. When I don't feel like going thrift shopping, you know I don't feel good. So there will be no thrift haul tomorrow. None at all. No video, I'm sure. I can't talk today and then find something else to talk about tomorrow. I don't have that much going on in my life unless I just pick something. I do have something I want to do. I just haven't got around to it. But it ain't gonna be tomorrow. I can guarantee you that. So, what do we say? See you when I see you.